I gotta try to back down. That like
You're a pretty girl. You're a pretty girl.
It's a good baby Ava. Baby Ava likes mommy better than me too.
You're logged in as me, right?
Hi, Ricky. Yeah.
How do you know how to do that?
I don't know how to do it. Vivian knows how to do it. Yeah, but we have some people who couldn't get here, so hopefully we got it.
Holly. My call's
That's why I want to do this kind of in a
No barrel.
By the way, we're all like,
No.
What?
I'm free now. All right, check. You guys want to circle up? We'll get this. Oh, what's up, buddy? Yeah, does it need to go up? I don't know if we need it. Wow. Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to be there. Oh, you came in hot.
I watched her.
Check, 1, 2, 3, check. Is that better? That looks good. Yes, echo.
Love your hat. Yeah.
What? Come on.
Yep. All right. I'm going to use this. I don't know if we need it. We need it? Everybody can hear me? Yes? Raise your hand if you're 6 and you can hear me. Okay. Well, this is awesome. Thank you everybody for coming down. Really appreciate dealing with the traffic, and we have people who traveled pretty far to actually be here. So it means a lot to me personally that you guys came down here. Thank you, and I know it means a ton to Adam's family and Adam's mom, Ricky. So we really appreciate it. And it's good to see everybody. It's been, we can see a lot of us see each other, but it's really cool to see everybody here. And there's some people we haven't seen in a long time. So thank you. Yeah, thanks, Dave. I know, it feels a little formal, but I'm going to use it anyway. And this is an open mic. There's no format here. Just if anyone wants to say anything, come say something. No pressure, but you'll probably feel better if you do. And then when we're done here, we can all paddle out. And we have one of Adam's bodyboards here. We'll take that out. And the one that says tequila really big that he drew on there when he was like 16 or 17. And really thanks to Janelle, who brought this beautiful wreath. Her mother decorated Adam's board the last time we did this 21 years ago, so it was really cool and special to have her do that. Thank you. So, look, I got some notes because I want to try and remember everything. First and foremost, look, we all know the story. It was 20 years ago we were starting our senior year in high school, and there was a huge hole in our class. Adam was gone. We all missed him. It was so weird starting that year that way, and it just seemed like with the reunion, and I don't know who's going to the reunion, it just seemed like a good time to get back together and do this. It's also been 10 years since the last Adam Frand surf contest, which ran for 10 years. I'm super proud of everybody who's helped support that and make that the thing it was. And that means it's been 21 years since we did lose Adam. And, I think at this stage in our lives, we've probably all lost quite a few people. Grandparents, parents, other peers, and shockingly and unfortunately, even we've got a friend or two across the field as well. So it's really painful and hard to think about that. But I think it was so intense on this group that we went through that together at such a young age, and it was such a powerful and intense experience that I know it stays with me to this day. I'm sure it stays with a lot of you. I've talked to some of you, and really a year ago was the 20th anniversary, and Ricky and I were exchanging some notes, and it just felt like, again, a good time to kind of pull everyone together. So, one more time, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Charlie.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you. So losing Adam was obviously, for me, and I think for most of us, the most traumatic thing we've ever experienced, most tragic. And for me, and I'm glad I've talked to Ricky about this before because it sounds weird to say, but ultimately it's actually the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. And not that I would obviously give anything to take it back, right? Like we all would. We'd give anything to make that not happen, but it's the clearest evidence because we would give everything. It's the clearest evidence that it doesn't matter. You don't get to make those deals. Obviously that's not in our hands what happened there. We have to deal with the result and try and pick up the pieces and move on. So for me, when you experience that sort of event, I think you can end up really scared about life. It's so obvious that nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed. The only thing that is guaranteed is this moment that we're in right now. So, when we lost Adam, and I said this at his funeral, that, selfishly, on one hand, I felt very lucky that, if he was only going to be here for this much time and we don't get a say in how much he's here, I got to be one of the guys who was closest with him. And I got to spend a lot of time with him in some really important years. And I felt lucky that I knew him so well. Because now, 21 years later, I can tell you I feel even more lucky. Because I realized what he meant to me, the lessons I learned by our friendship, and what, losing him how that's affected me going forward. And I think the point there is, so while I was selfishly kind of lucky to get that time with him, and probably as much as anyone other than his family directly, it also was that lesson of, this is it, this is all we got right now. In a minute, it could all be over, and rather than being scared by that, I've just tried to keep with me personally that, and I think I'm lucky that it's just empowered me to enjoy the moments, enjoy the world here on the beach, and see each other, love each other, hug each other, and just remember that even when it's tough, you're having a tough day, like, it could be worse. And when it's great, holy shit, it's great. It's amazing. Soak it up, enjoy it. Don't take anything too serious. And that's the biggest lesson that I took away from losing Adam, and that's why I say ultimately it is the most important thing in my life. It's made me appreciate myself, my family, my kids, on levels that I don't know I could have if I hadn't been close to Adam. Good castle building, guys. I'm not going by my notes, so I have to see if I remember to say everything I wanted to say first. So I guess in that spirit, I just want to say I'm so grateful for everyone that's here. I love you guys. Thank you for making the trip. Thank you for taking the time to be here. Huge thanks to my family. And actually, before I get to my family, those of you who are really my really closest friends, we never get enough time, but we get that time. I love you guys. You guys are the same as family to me. And huge thanks to my family who were there for me in tough times, and when tough times happen again, the pipe breaks and I need some help or something. But you guys are there, and so important to us and our family. My wife, I'm very, very lucky to be with, and these beautiful kids. Too many girls, but they're very beautiful and cute. I love you girls. And then most importantly, Ricky. You were and are one of the best mothers I've ever known and seen, and to be able to carry on a relationship, and we don't get to see each other enough either, has meant so much to me, and helped teach me how, or at least try and teach me how to be a better parent myself. When I think about Adam, I think about how smart he was. He was athletic. His personality was what really set him apart, and he was so funny and so confident. I mean, it's hard to be confident when you're 17 in high school, right? Those are hard years. I'm so happy I'm done. And I'm so sorry these knuckleheads have to go through it because it's not easy. But he had this confidence, and I know it came from you, and how you raised him. And, you know, I was even thinking, so when we would surf together, we would, you know, sometimes we'd bring a camera along and try and film each other, and sometimes that camera would go on trips, and I had this stack of tapes that I recently came across, and I converted them to a hard drive, and it was so moving and fun to go back and see these videos I hadn't seen in so long, because there was Adam, just as he was. I heard his voice, whether he was on the camera or behind it, filming us while we surfed. He's being hilarious, being very inappropriate at times, which is to be expected. And one of those days, I remember this, because I remember this day anyway, but one of those days on the camera was this surf day where, you know, frankly, I think it was me, Mike Carr, and Adam, and we ditched. We knew the surf was good. We had surfed in the morning. We went to school, and we decided late in the morning, like, well, let's get out of here and go surf. Surf's good. Forget school. And we grabbed Adam, and I think we had our surf. We must have had our surf stuff because we were in surf class, but I don't think Adam did. So we had to go get his surf stuff, and you were home. So I think almost everybody else here, that would have been like a sneaky strike mission to try and sneak in, get the stuff, and get out, and hope mom didn't see. But not Adam and not Ricky. Like, he walked in and was like, yeah, I ditched school. We're going surfing with the boys. And you were like, that's awesome. I love it. Have fun. You guys need a snack? And if you guys don't know Ricky personally and how she was, even back then, is she was so supportive of Adam and her whole family. And she empowered him, again, to be that person he was. Because we know that English class we missed, Adam was going to get an A, right? He was such a smart kid. And frankly, he was going to get an N or a U in citizenship because he screwed off in the class all the time and made us all laugh, and he didn't care about the teacher at all, right? What she cared about. He didn't need the help getting an A. He was going to get the U, so he missed the day. What did it matter? Well, you know, ultimately it mattered a lot because we got this very special day surfing together. Nobody else out because it was probably 2 in the afternoon and everybody's at work at school. And there it was on video. And, you know, truth is, 6 months later, he was gone. And I think it's just one little insight into how your parenting gave him the best life he could have for while he was here. And it's moving. It's really impressive. I don't know if I will be so patient with my kids if they try and ditch. Don't ditch. But we do actually take our kids out a lot to go on trips and things like that, because that's the lessons I've learned. It's like, yeah, we pulled her out at noon yesterday because we wanted to come up and see everybody, and we don't want to wait. Like, let's go. We're going to go see all our friends and family, and she's playing with the Curtis kids, and it's just amazing. So that's what stays with me, and I'm grateful for you. I'm almost done talking. Sorry, guys. I don't want to hog this thing. So the last thing I wanted to do was just share a note that I wrote to Ricky about a year ago. I'll just read it. So, Ricky, I'm listening to this podcast about a surfer who lost his brother when he was young. His name's Alex Gray. Maybe you know his story. He's a local guy. And by the way, that podcast is really moving. I'd love you guys to hear it if you ever wanted to. He just talks about what it's like to lose someone so close and how it affected him and how he's kind of risen up from that. So this discussion brings me to a quick realization that I've lived much longer missing Adam than I ever did knowing him. And I'm 37. I'm actually 39 now. And Adam was 17 when he passed. So at the time, that was 20 years without him. He only lived 17. I didn't know Adam for all my 17 years either. Like, thinking back, I probably only knew him for 10, or maybe a little less. And I'm now old enough to understand that 10 years is a really short amount of time. Really short. But here's why I wanted to write you, to say this. Adam meant more to me in that short amount of time, that I knew him than anyone else ever has. There's no question. I never told anybody this, and I haven't told anyone other than Ricky, but every time I surf, I do a little, you could call it a prayer or an acknowledgement. I kind of kiss my thumb and feel like I'm kissing up somewhere, and I talk out loud, not loud, but I talk out loud, and I talk to Adam. And I'm trying to say thank you, and hope he's looking out for his family first and foremost, and then, if he's got some energy left, give me a push if I need it. And, yeah, I do it every day. Every day I serve. You know, at these times, and at this point, I sometimes remember my grandmother and Uncle Joey and some other people as well. But that whole tradition started with Adam, and I'm all but certain I've never served without taking time to remember him over the last 20 years. So I don't know why I felt the need to share this now, but I did, and I just want you to know Adam's never been forgotten. He serves with me every week, and anyway, that's something I never shared, and tonight I thought I should tell you. So Adam's in my thoughts daily. Even outside of that, I swear to everything holy that he's looking out for me and my family, and I feel very blessed because of it. I'm not religious, but and this is very, very true, I have felt him in my life. I've felt him save me from things that I didn't want to face. I've felt him in hard times, and I've known he was there in good times. So that's without question. And I just finish by saying, you know, please don't ever trouble yourself to be concerned that he might be forgotten. He can't be. He won't be. I don't know what else to say except that I'd love to tell you more. I love you forever, and I love Adam the same. Thanks for letting me share this. And thanks to all of you for letting me share. Again, one more time, I really, really appreciate you guys taking time to come down here, be here for Adam, for his family, and for each other. So I'm done. Thank you guys. I love you.
So, Adam still makes me laugh till this day for many reasons. And a couple of the main ones is, first of all, every memory I have of him is a fond one. And some of the main ones are, back in Maricosta, me and Dane and him would be done with nutrition and we'd walk to Miss Wada's class for third period. He'd be going on the same hallway and me and Dane would be going to Miss Wada's. And every time a hot chick would come by, he'd push me or Dane into the hot chick. So we'd bump into her and then have to deal with that awkward situation. And then we'd look back at him and he'd be laughing so hard and he'd get that vein going in his forehead that like kind of split like the Tigris and the Euphrates, and he'd just be dying. And so I think about that all the time and it makes me laugh. Another quote from him is when he was playing football and Coach Beaumont was talking and saying something, and he said that he wished that a Scud missile would come down and Rogue hit Coach Beaumont and murder him. So he was able to specify what trajectory and the exact type. And I just thought that was one of the funniest things in the world. And then back to what Charlie was saying about dicking around in class. I'll never forget when he was in woodshop in Halferty's class. And he was fucking off. And Halferty was like, look, you quit messing around or I'm just going to shut down the shop. And he was like, shut it down! Shut it down. And our friends group still says shut it down like that till this day. So when Charlie talks about, yeah, he's never going to be forgotten, he's always there, he absolutely agree. And he's there in the times he's made us laugh and all his funny quotes and things he did, and that thing will forever be with me. And I'm going to pass that one down to my kids as well.
Yeah.
First, I just want to say, Chuck, thanks for setting this all up. I mean, you've been doing this for 20 plus years. It's incredible.
Get on that mic,
I don't
buddy.
think you get thanks enough, for what you do. I mean, congratulations, man. Well done. Great words. Great to set everything up and get everybody involved. I know you're busy with a busy family, so thanks for doing this.
Yeah, happy to.
I'm up here to have a little closure myself. I was in Minnesota when I ago. It's been 20 years. And I never really got to talk to anyone about it. We came back and the group all met. And I remember we were at Chrissy's house and everybody kind of came together, but I think we were all pretty young. I don't think we really understood what happened, And I think his passing taught us a lot, at least myself, about loss. So that when I did lose my father or other family members or people, that how I felt that day, being away and not really knowing what had happened. But I do remember all the good times. You know, I do remember all of his, you know, laughter and all of his positivity, and I do remember having great times with him, with Jared and Chris and Kevin and all of our friends and Chuck. And you know, I do remember how smart he was. You're absolutely right. I mean, he was a brilliant guy, and I know he would have gone to do many great things. But I think, you know, sometimes, you know, you learn almost more about somebody after they're gone, and I think that's true about Adam. So one of the fond memories I do have of him, though, is he loved that DMX song, Rough Riders. And I remember we'd go ride in his Pathfinder. I think it was a black Pathfinder. And we'd go in, and he'd always, you know, we'd rap it and everything. And remember, he'd always have the best laugh. He was always so happy, you know. And at that point in my life, I had some difficulties going on with my family. And he always picked me up. He was always there for me. And he was always positive, you know. And it was a tough years, you know, as Chuck said, you know, in high school, a lot of, you know, things going on in life. But he was always happy. He was always in a good frame of mind. And that's what I always remember about him. So it's really great that you set this up. It's such a wonderful place, you know, and it's great to come back. And thanks a lot, Charlie, for setting this up. Good, man.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, I'll keep this brief because I'm not really comfortable up here speaking. But, Adam's one of my very closest friends, so yeah, to echo Mike's statements, Charlie, thanks so much for organizing this, because a lot of us think about adding probably to ourselves. It's great to get together like this and remember. Personally, I think about him all the time. Very consistently in my thoughts. One of my just had so many good times together. Growing up about a block away from each other. You know, we must have fought, I guess, maybe at some point in time. I can't ever remember that. Every memory I have with Adam is just having so much fun, sharing so many good conversations about life and what we're up to in the future. Just so special to me. I'm getting married in 2 weeks. So I've been doing a lot of remembrance and really been thinking a lot lately about what it would be like to have Adam at my wedding. It would just be so special. I've just been thinking about him so much and thinking about you, Ricky, and the family. So yeah, I don't have much for stories to share today. As you can see, I can barely keep it together right now. I just wanted to get up here and say, Adam, I love you, still think about you all the time. I know you're doing well. Hope to see you again in the future at some point in time. You're in my thoughts almost every day, in my prayers, and yeah, I think that's it. Great to see everybody here today, and look forward to lots of probably individual conversations that we'll be having together about Adam and just where we are at in our lives. I do think it's very important to get together like this. It's always very easy to say, you know, we'll get together next time or next year, and there isn't always next year. And so, you know, I try to plan a lot of things myself where, you know, big groups can get together. I super appreciate everything that Charlie does for getting this type of stuff together. It's important. I think we should all remember that. Continue to remember that. Even if times are tough, there's lots going on in our lives. It's always very important because you never know. But yeah, I think that's it. Love you, Adam, and thank you.
Thank you.
A lot of good memories on this beach with Adam. Charlie and Adam and Michael Carr and I used to hang out on the platform that's no longer up there. It lasted a good 40 years probably, but it's gone now. But this was our spot, probably 7th, 8th, 9th grade, and then we kind of got big enough to move over to the north side and not get bullied too much. That was fun. When I think about Adam, which I do every day pretty much, I think about how, like, what a unique personality he has. He was on the one hand, like very level-headed, but on the other hand, very excitable, which I think is a really cool combination. And he was one of the smartest people that I was lucky enough to be friends with, and I always kind of thought that I'd be able to live off of him financially, but it hasn't panned out. One of the best memories I have with him on a one-on-one was surfing at a spot we used to go to called Juniors.
Yeah.
And getting some good waves one afternoon, probably late in the high school years. And as we were changing out of our wetsuits and we were in our precarious little towel changing positions, an ice cream truck drove by. And Adam got fired up by that idea, and he got me all fired up about that idea. So like a couple of 5-year-olds, we were just scrambling for our money and sprinting down the street trying to chase down this ice cream truck. Basically grown men, but we were pretty fired up. And he had that contagious excitement that I miss so much. Miss Adam tremendously, but I think it's such an amazing lesson here. Not only how much we need to just appreciate every day that we have together, but also just how great it is that how much positivity has come out of this. And I think we owe Charlie so much, and I've learned so much from Charlie. And I think the ability to turn this into something positive and turn this into a source of community for everybody is amazing. So 20 years later, love you, Charlie, love you, Adam. Thank you guys.
What's up? Just something kind of dawned on me is like how awesome it is that all of us have these like kind of private moments with ourselves about Adam, and I think about him a ton. I think one of the coolest things is, John mentioned the Shut It Down Halfordy story, and like to this day, like my son, I will say like, Luke, you got to shut it down. Shut it down, Halfordy. And he's like, what is Halfordy? And so like my 5-year-old knows who Adam is. My wife, who's never met Adam, knows who Adam is. Like, he's still so with us, and it's like so awesome. And I think it's really comforting to know that like, we all have these kind of private moments, but in a way, I think we're kind of all having them together. And seeing everyone here is really cool. It's crazy to think it's been this long, but I actually wish Matt Wilk was here, because there was no one more pissed off that Halfordy shut down the show. He was so bummed. But I miss Adam a ton. I think he'd be right here with us, right next to me, or at my wedding, seeing my kids. It's a bummer that he's not around, but we think about him a ton, and I do cherish every second that we had, and I think it's really cool that everyone here does too.
Thanks, Bruce.
Of course.
I'll just tell a quick funny story so everyone's got tears in their eyes. I only knew Adam as Charlie's cute friend. Sorry, guys. I knew Jordy better. But one time after babysitting Jordy, and granted Charlie and I didn't get along very well, I remember Adam took us home in the Pathfinder, and he had the windows tinted, and Charlie comes running out, and he goes, "What's going on?" And Adam's like, "I got some babes in the car." And he rolls down the window, and me and whoever the other girl were like, "Ah!" Sisters, and Charlie was like, "Ah." So cool to have the cute friend of Charlie's giving it to Charlie.
Sweet. Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah, review. Good. Everyone can review. Oh, no, wait, hold on. I think. No. Oh, somebody wants to be in it? I don't know. What are we doing? We might have some outside. There's a lot of people like watching, and I think somebody wants to come in and say something, but I don't know how to do it. Oh, they just got access. That's all. Anybody else? Yeah, Alonzo, thank you. I think that is private.
Okay. So my fondest, I mean, what just came to my head, I mean, Adam was in everybody's, sophomore year, you know, I'm trying to fit in. I'm a little brown kid in high school. Still had an accent, I think. English was not my first language. And surf team is how I got to know Adam. You know, I was trying to do everything to fit in, so surfing and soccer. But this one day, I remember very, very clear that I was having the shittiest day as a sophomore, just awkward and just not feeling like myself. The end of school, I would walk home every day. I didn't live too far. Just walk down, school down, you know, over here on 4th Street. And I know for sure that Adam saw that in me, that I was having just the worst day. And we walked by, I see he was getting in his car. He's like, "You alright, dude? What's going on?" I'm like, "I'm fine." You know, I never wanted to show weakness to Adam. He was always so happy. He's like, "Get in my car, man." It's out of your way, dude. I don't know. Get in my car, get in this Pathfinder in the front seat, and my spirits just went from like here to here. Just being in the presence of somebody like that, somebody that I admired, who's older than me, and somebody that just that moment that day has stuck with me till now. That moment of just him like lifting me up and, you know, going out of his way like he did for a lot of us to make sure that you're okay. Talk to me, and then put on Rough Riders after the talk. I remember that. It's gonna make you feel bad. I do remember that. So that's what I have to say is that in that moment where I was at my lowest, just felt just deflated by life as a junior, awkward, brown Costa Rican kid. That he grabbed me and just took me in like a brother and comforted me and counseled me to feel better. And we talked through it, and the next day I had one of the best days of my life. And as little as that was to you know, really, it wasn't little to me. I'll just be honest, that stuck with me my whole life, and I remember that ride. Every time I think about Adam, I remember him pulling me down, pulling me up, you know, from when I was so far down and having that crappy day to just making me feel like his brother, like he did to a lot of us. And that's always going to stick with me, and we love him, and he's going to be in our hearts forever. And it's amazing that he's brought all of us together here, Charlie, and you guys, you did such a good job. And like you said, and everyone knows, the spirit will live on, and we just got to keep living life and live in the moment, and just not take anything for granted. And every time I feel down, honestly, I think about that day. And it makes it feel so much better, and I know that he's in an amazing place, you know, just watching over us, and we love him so much, so thank you.
Thanks, Alonzo. Anybody else? Paddle out. Okay, so pretty much it. So hi to everybody who's live streaming. Thankfully, my wife knows how to figure that out. There was a lot of people who couldn't be here today, but wanted to be here. So for those who want, let's throw on our wetsuits and trunks, and we'll paddle this board and this reef out about as far as the pier is. So thank you, everybody. We love you guys. Thanks for being here, and see you in the water. All right.
Kiddos.
One day, I don't know, like Adam on it or something.
Everybody's just dying.
Can you save the life of this film? We'd be able to fell over laughing. But I laughed so hard.
How are you doing?
Yeah, do you want me to end it and then save it?
Set it up there so it's facing off the ocean.
Oh, now they guys got it.
And then,
Ellen always talks to me about how we started the high school team.
it's so good. It's so good. Okay, you can use this to kind of like prop it up maybe.
Okay.
And then your phone's on the stool.
You have more boards than Kevin. You have more boards than Kevin has boards.
Hi, Daisy.
Good. Great. Yeah, man. Oh, do you watch the last couple games? Last game, I felt like they really did not have a chance, and they didn't deserve to be there. Totally.
I mean, we won it because...
What was that? Unhittable. Unhittable, dude. What do you even do with that? No one drops swings. Because you can't hit it. 99, throwing seeds, and then a splitter that like 83 on the dirt. Totally. Oh, there you go. Kevin Riddle?
Yeah, no.
Love it.
Taking a video of them paddling out. Might just run down there.
outside. I'm like, oh, they're doing that. Yeah, literally. You're like right there.